Rats, I need to work on that. Whoa. Hey, how's it going there, chat room? Welcome back. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks so much for joining me. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is July 5th, 2019, and we're going to write a little bit of code today. We've got a new look. We've got a lot going on here. I'm wearing my Black Horse Brewery Tennessee Ales hat today because I just want to relax. I want to feel like we're just having a little bit of fun together. It's a vacation week. It's a staycation week, and we're having a good time here. What do you think of the new look? Huh? I think I've simplified a little bit. I don't have as much going on. I've tried to get rid of all the things, all the places. So we just have a top bar, a bottom bar, and in this view, we've got chat over there on the side. When we get over to the one other view we have, it's just the two bars and our code that we're going to see in the middle. Well, you like it? You like the new screen? You like the purple? Yeah? Nice and clean. Thanks so much, chat room. It's great to see you here. Stelzy and Sean are here. Lannon, yep, thank God it's Friday. TJIF. Welsh Ronaldo likes it, says nice and shiny. And yeah, when Svafa comes in and says likes the new intro screen instead of what mischief, there's something afoot here. I think it is. It's very nice. So much new interface. Thank you, Mark. But yeah, I like the purple. I like the purple a lot. Darn Skippy, it's nice. Hey, Eternal Dev Coder, glad you like it. Raphael, DCA, good morning. Automod, didn't like your last message. Source Scoot. It's not going to read it, is it? There was no message. Thanks so much for that. I really appreciate it. Good evening, Tobo Nautilus. Good to see you. I'm still tweaking things, still getting it up and running properly. It's, hopefully everything's running just fine. Yeah? Okay, good. New layout looks good. Visual Studio and Twitch colors. Yeah, I like the lighter purple down there. I think that's a little bit nicer. No chat comments in the stream while working on the code. A little bit. It's not going to read it, is it? Oh my gosh. 1 more month till 1 year. Yes, almost there. You know what? See, this is part of, I need to do just a little bit more tweaking here. I think the alerts are not being read properly. Right? Because we can definitely hear it going off. But thank you so much, Landon, for 11 months. Wow. And I was doing some research on our next charity over the past day or so here. I thought I had them nailed down, but in order for my employee match to happen, they need to be a U.S.-based charity. So if they're U.S.-based and they act around the world, I can work with that. But yeah, I need to just confirm 1 or 2 things here. I need a newer, better bot. No, our bot's just fine. What was the Automod? Automod's different. Automod is not what I'm running through here. No, you're fine with that comment. Yep, still having all your fingers. That is a good July 4th. It is Q3. We do need to get that next charity confirmed here that we're going to help out. Let me just take a quick look at the alerts, and it should announce who the alerts are. Show subscriber, enable custom, text to speech. Here we go. Enabled, delay in seconds. Yeah, that should be working. What was it that we did wrong that we had to do this? If we get a subscriber like that, it should read it, right?
Gabriella just subscribed. Do not fear a man that spams 1,000 memes. Instead fear a man that spams them 1,000 times.
Okay, so that worked. I'm not quite sure. Is it... Oh, wait a sec. There was a variation setting here. This one... Let's take a look, see what happened here. There it is, right there. There they are. I found it. It's in the variations. It's hiding. Because I set up different variations on these things. There they are. That should behave nicely now. All right. It was echoing because I have it on OBS and I also have it on Stream Elements loading. Really weird. I was watching the video of my last stream, thought it was live. Nope. No, that's weird. Hey, John Calloway, good to see you. You like the propeller hats? Yeah, you get propeller hats after you hit a year. Like Aspiring DevOps Guru, good to see you. All right, let me get some music playing in the background here, and we'll talk about the project that we're going to be working on today. With all the purple here, I think it's appropriate that we play purple to introduce and bring on our new layout here. Huh? And I've moved the sentiment analysis over here, and now you can always see whether I'm on YouTube, GitHub, or Twitter. It's always C# Fritz. Fantastic. All right. And I've gotten rid of the event list, so I've got just the most recent cheer, the most recent follower, and the latest subscribers up top. I think that's nice to continue to thank and encourage folks. So, prepping for a new PC build on your next stream. Very cool, Lannon. Good luck with that. Much clearer UI. Thank you. So, let me show you. We're going to wander over to... Oh, well, this is Purple. This song is called Purple. I'm sorry, I forgot to finish describing this. This song is called Purple. It's from our friend, Mr. Carl Franklin. It's music to code by. It's designed to get you in the groove, get you in the flow, so that you're focused on whatever task it is that you might be working on. Check it out. You can use the music command in chat, or you can go to mtcb.pwop.com and learn more about it. Very cool. Still listening to Cyan. Love Cyan. How about a little Prince Purple Rain? Twitch probably wouldn't think too kindly. No, they wouldn't. They would cut me off immediately. Immediately. They like to mute folks who use copyrighted music without proper licensing, and I don't have licensing for that. So let me take you over to our new code edit screen there. So you see I've gotten rid of chat on the screen. Since I read most of the chat anyway, I figured it didn't make sense to actually show the chat on the screen. I was tempted to take the blue matrix background and turn that purple as well, a light purple. Maybe I'll do that and use that starting next time. What do you think, chat room? If I were to make the flowing matrix in the background, make that purple tone instead of blue, I think we can get that working. And it'll look pretty cool. Let me know. I don't see anybody talking. There we go. Better without chat visible. Yeah, I agree. I agree. It might be better green. Part of me would like to go with a subtle purple over that, so that we just have that purple tone, and in the middle is it'll be black when we change over to Visual Studio. You don't have to worry about it covering things. Exactly. Don't have to worry about chat covering anything. You like a duo tone. Okay. All right. We can think about that. We can figure something out. All right. So we've had a couple of pull requests. We've got a bunch of things that have come through, and we have a bug hanging out there in our current stream bot, our current chat bot, the Fritz bot that's sitting in chat. I thought we could take care of those things real quick, and we have a pull request here from DomFX to take a look at as well. So I want to take a quick run through these, and then I'd like to show you the changes, the enhancements that I've made to our feature load capabilities for our distributed chat bot that we've been working on, the Pixel bot as it's currently called, and hopefully we'll finish building our first chat interface for that later today. Oh, look at that! It didn't play that sound. I know why. I know why it didn't play that sound. That one's on me. Because I don't have it. I don't have that source. One second. On the screen. There it is. Now you should hear it if you do an and then again, or attention, all of those things. No, it didn't play it. Really? And then? There it goes. All right. Now we're... And then? Yes, there we go. Just check this. Okay, good. I didn't say JavaScript. Oh, now I did. All right, now we're talking. Now we're cooking with... Yes, and then we're going to move on to the other things. Okay. Let's take a look at a couple of these issues. I think we're going to be able to blow through here real quick, just because they were approved, they tested properly, so we'll be able to advance those. We need to add the live coders command to Fritzbot. That's a good one to add. This I'm going to close. I'll figure that out later. Hey, Frank, you like the new overlay? Yeah, absolutely. Love the end-thens. Yeah, simplify things a bit. Make sure you can still see my name there. And we show our latest cheers, followers, and subscribers across the top. And I moved the follower goal over there, and it's got a date with it now. So if we get to 8,000 followers by September 15th, I'll dye the beard rainbow for both .NET Conf and TwitchCon. But I don't think we're going to make it. I may need to adjust that goal to make sure that we have a shot at even getting there. So we shall see. Okay, good. Everything's all right here. So, very clean. You like it? Thank you. All right. So we've got a bunch of pull requests from Dependabot. Change it to 6761. Why? Nobody clicked follow. I'm seeing 6760 everywhere. You would be only one away. Oh, change the goal. See what you did there. I tell you. No, that's
shame. Shame.
We're gonna make this something that
Shame.
Takes a little bit to get there. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Shame. Let's go back over to this and that. Okay. I would only be one away. Yeah, but that would be cheating. Let's take a look at some of these pull requests that were submitted. I want to make sure that we give some time here to Dom, who's in New Jersey. To Dominic, who gave us a suggested solution for how we extract a dictionary of settings from app settings. So let's see if we can merge in some of these real quick here. Bump System IO abstractions from 6.01 to 6.014. That's a patch release. It merged, it tested properly. So I will merge that. That's fine. Right, I'm assuming. Right, this was changed in Stream Tools. This was changed in my test project. That's fine. So I'll merge these changes. I love being able to just merge things right away from Dependabot, right? Dependabot is a service that we use that automatically watches our dependencies in our projects and makes sure that when there's fixes, when there's security enhancements that are available to us, we get those appropriately as fast as possible and update our projects. So here's one to go update our test SDK in our test project. That's fine. It's a minor bump up there. It's not a breaking change. It built properly, so I can confidently merge that in. Yep. You've got a PR in there also. We'll take a look-see. So this is all of our Stream Tools. I'm going to skip DOMs real quick here. This is Application Insights, Microsoft ASP.NET Core. This is a patch release from 2.7.0 to 2.7.1. That's fine. Go ahead and merge that in. So I like seeing these ones that are just a patch release. Just fix something simple and get that working. Right, here's MOQ. This is MOQ is mock is our mocking library that we use for testing, so we can emulate what it would look like if the network behaved a certain way, or a service that we request or interact with behaved a certain way without actually interacting with that thing. Has no conflicts, and it's trying to rebuild right now. It's fine. That's going to build no problem. Yay, testing. Absolutely, John Calloway. Absolutely. We need to do more testing in our projects. Auto fixture. This didn't build properly. I'm assuming these are going to get a rerun here in a few minutes. Auto fixture, I'll skip that one. Fluent assertions. It's being rebased right now, so I'll wait on that. Here's Lannon with the add live coders command. So this is just another entry in app settings. Check them out at livecoders.dev. Fantastic. That's an easy commit to take. Very cool. Yep. Take that in. Thank you very much for this contribution. I like promoting the Live Coders team. Absolutely. Thanks so much, Lannon. I appreciate that. Here you can see it's building all these other ones with the yellow dots, right? That's what it's telling us, is that it's currently compiling those and making sure that they actually still work. You like the new visuals, Hugo? Thank you. Yeah, that's a simple. I like the simple enhancements, something that we can easily go through and see. Hey, this is something we can add. But I think we need to go back and we need to fix the shout out command. The shout out command hasn't been working again. We're going to need to address that. Yep, Dependabot. What is automatically building the PRs? Legendary Moo asks. So check this out. This is hooked up using Azure pipelines. So I have Azure DevOps pipeline service watching these projects. Azure DevOps, you can get installed inside of your open source project free. It'll run 10 builds concurrently, absolutely free for you. I'm only running one at a time, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, look at the projects I've got out here. And you're more than welcome to look at this, interact with it. This is devazure.com/fritzandfriends. Let me share that. If you've got a private project, a project you don't want folks to be able to see, source code that you don't want folks to be able to see, that is, you can pay for the service so that you get that protection. But if everything's public, you can set up and you can run Azure DevOps completely free. So there you go. You see, it's running these builds. I've got this set up so it watches every pull request. It'll build those pull requests so that I get this nice little indicator sent back to GitHub that indicates, oh, yep, it worked properly. And you don't have to use Azure DevOps for this. Maybe you like Jenkins. Maybe you like some other continuous integration service. That's okay too. You can use those connected up with GitHub. I've been meaning to learn Azure DevOps, so this worked out very well for me. This says that mock didn't build properly here for me on the checkout. Oh, yeah, because I merged. Yeah, it couldn't find it. That's fine. But these other ones should build properly, right? Maybe not. Fair to say it's basically Jenkins, cruise control team, SETI CI, and CD environment you get for free. Yeah. Yep. Does Azure DevOps allow you to SSH into the build containers? I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. I'm not sure why you would want to do that. You can get all the logs coming out of it. Circle CI, there's another one that does something similar. Yeah, absolutely. There you go. So that one built properly. Some of these other ones did not build properly, and we can click in and see what the error is. Right? Failed to restore. And we can scroll down and see exactly where the... Holy crow. Where's that red? That's a lot of restore going on there. One error. Detected package downgrade. Well, okay, so these auto fixtures are all related to each other, it looks like. But there you go. Lannon's build change worked properly. And it's showing me, like you saw, this didn't go through properly. So I want to hold off on those on auto fixture. Well, this one works properly, but these one, I bet you if I merged this one, it'll recalculate those and run properly. So since this one built properly, sure, we'll take that. And Dependabot will see that there was a change and it'll start rebasing these to say, oh, I need to rebuild on top of those, and it'll build again. Sometimes I have a path incorrectly misconfigured while I could view the logs. Sometimes, in weird cases, Docker containers will use a different directory that I didn't realize existed. That's fair, I guess. You can use your own build servers with Azure DevOps. Yes, you can. Yep. It's pretty good. Just not as familiar with its integration with Git on GitHub. It's real easy to configure. If I go settings, integrations and services, right there, you add the Azure Pipelines app. Fill out a little bit of information so that it knows where you are on Azure DevOps, and it just works. I love the it just works features. So bump fluent assertions. If I take a look at this one, yeah, go ahead, take that one. Since GitHub was acquired, integration has improved massively. Yeah, it has. I like this. A little inside baseball. There is a conscientious effort to ensure that GitHub stays separate from Microsoft. They don't want GitHub to be influenced only by Microsoft. They want to make sure that GitHub stays an independent entity with how it interacts with things. Dakrin, been lurking my channel. Also a vet. I have a degree in biochemistry. Can I talk? And molecular, but I decided I want to pursue tech. So I went into IT and looking to start coding. Can I talk a bit about Vets Who Code? So Vets Who Code, that's who we supported last quarter, and we'll make a donation once the final payments come through here from Twitch. Vets Who Code is an organization. It's actually a veteran-led organization that focuses on training veterans in web development and software engineering principles, starting careers as, well, we can disagree with exactly the technology here, but that's okay. But there's all kinds of partners that are helping them, helping veterans get an opportunity here. So they'll be getting a pretty good-sized donation from us. And I do need to figure out who our next charity is for the next quarter. Yeah. They support JavaScript. That's okay. That's fine. So happy GitHub has been, for the most part, acting independently, says Lannon. Yep. We want to make sure of that. Dakron, I'd just like to poke fun at JavaScript. It's a great programming language. There's a lot of great support from the community for it, but I'm a C# guy. That's all. Hype for the community helping worthwhile charities. Absolutely. Big hype. News, so I've only used C, Ruby, and you're going to make me sad, and JavaScript. That's great, Dakron. Very cool. If you're getting into web development, which feels like it might be a little bit something you're already familiar with, there's a lot of great opportunities in the web development field, I guess you'd say. A lot of folks also use web development to build internal applications, intranet applications for their corporation. At one point, I worked for an insurance company. I worked for a financial company in my past that used web applications to make those custom applications that folks would need on their intranet right? Those internal applications, so they don't have deployment issues with deploying custom applications. Atomic Nerd exclusively using Python and TypeScript. Very cool. All right. That's exactly what you're trying to do as your first official project, an intranet application. Very cool. There's some things that you don't have to worry about as an intranet application. What's great about using the .NET technology, about using ASP.NET and IIS, right, the Windows Internet Information Server, as your web technology for an intranet application, is if you're using Active Directory on your intranet, you'll be able to get great integration with the authentication directly without having to write extra code. You can just query it right away. Frank, go ahead. You can share if you have a post about Azure DevOps in a video. Please go ahead and share that. That's quite all right. I appreciate you asking permission before sharing those. Absolutely. There's a lot of great folks in our Twitch live coders community and in the Microsoft community that are sharing videos on YouTube, sharing great blog posts about getting started with Azure DevOps with GitHub and getting things set up. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and check that stuff out. And yeah, Frank, go ahead and please share the blog post there. You're an IT DevOps developer. While I don't like using the DevOps title, it kind of best describes what you do. I think there's something to be said for DevOps is more than just a tool. When I worked for the startups, the web companies before Microsoft and Telerik, I made it a very good point that I wanted to work closely with my operations team. As a developer on the team, it was important to me that I have a good relationship with my operations folks who are responsible for the uptime of our production applications. So I made it a point to spend time with them, ensuring that everything works properly. Yeah, I was right about these auto fixtures, that they would get bumped properly. So I will squash and merge those. And I'm going to feel real good getting this just about all cleared out here. Yep, it's not going to let me do it yet because it needs to rebase. There we go, Frank. Thanks so much. Until the people upstairs tell you, hey, this is a great internal tool, let's make it public. Well, that's when we need to work together. We need to talk about setting expectations, managing expectations. It's very important that we ensure, and we're going to come to Dominic's change there in just a second. We need to make sure that they understand taking something internal and making it public. That's a big change. That's a big step. We need to tread lightly on that. As long as you clean up all your dependency updates, a new batch will be released from people working on the projects over the weekend or long weekend. Your first PR, Dom. We'll take a look here in just a second. I want to merge this last one right here from Dependabot. Let it get rebased. Right, it's going to be a few seconds there on that one. So let's take a look at Dominic's change then. Do I have... I do have a... So let me go to my project here. Oh, it didn't say it. Nothing else matters. Thanks so much for the cheer. 100 bits. Thank you very much. And we're going to make a donation to our new technical charity for the third quarter. Thank you so much for that cheer. But I'm trying to nail down who that charity is. How long have I worked in the software industry? I've been working for about 20 years, Atomic Nerd. Less scope creep is always a good thing. Good luck on that happening. Scope creep is actually... Scope creep can be... I don't want to say this. It can be a good thing. It's an important thing in the evolution of our applications. Just watched one of my videos on Auth0, wondering if I got the Twitch OpenID Connect working. We did get it working. Turned out there was a version change in how Twitch was accepting the OpenID. There is a video right after that one that shows you just had to change the version number in the headers that you were sending over, and it works. Scope creep can be like back to the topic of scope creep.
Squirrel.
Yeah, it can be a little bit of a distraction, but as long as it's managed and scheduled, it's actually a good thing, because it means that the application system is healthy. It means that you're growing, you're pushing in directions where you're going to have cool new features growing in your application. Dacron says works for a major construction company in California. Company has started adopting technologies in the past 5 years. Virtualized workspace, multi-site access, digitized HR, lots of opportunity for software development. Very cool. That type of folks like to use the word digital transformation, and I've avoided that because it feels salesy, markety. But that sounds like digital transformation, and that's very cool to hear. Depends on how complicated the creep is. Scope creep in the design phase gets you all the time. What if this? What if that? Yes. And I think you've seen, as we've been working on the chatbot and a little bit on the resource management application, the two applications we're normally working on right now, we've been managing scope creep by just saying minimum viable. I don't need that feature yet. Let's create an issue for it and schedule it. And that's how we manage scope creep. We don't over-engineer things. We run into the concept of YAGNI, right? YAGNI is an acronym for you aren't gonna need it. Okay? If you don't need it right away, don't build it. Build the simplest minimum thing possible that you need and move forward from there. So I don't need to build all kinds of widgets and things. We get to minimum viable product. Yes, Atomic Nerd. Yes. Yeah. All right. So Dominic has for us played around made extracting the dictionary for sound effects commands a little more elegant. So let me show you what Dominic's referring to here. Let me change. Oh no, this is the right project. Good. So let me close all the windows. Let's see. There's 3 files changed here. So let me show you what I'm doing, and we'll take a look at what Dominic's suggesting. Inside of the app settings for the bot, we have a definition of all the sound effects that we can load. There's George Takei's "Oh my," our and thens. We have 6 of those. The JavaScript and a rim shot sound effect. Okay. Yes, that. So I get a section of configuration and just start spinning through it to go find all the values and output that. So let's take a look at what Dominic has for us. And then we'll figure out if we'd like to apply it or not. And if we do apply it, the big ticker up at the top of the screen will get Dominic's name up there as a thank you to celebrate his contribution to enhance the project. So what Dominic has done is, instead of receiving the entire configuration for the application, and that's what this I configuration is, it's the entire configuration. Dominic's suggesting we receive an I options. So I options is a collection of configuration information that is a dictionary that has a key of type string and a value, right? So we're going to look up things by some sort of string key, and we'll have a sound effects definition there. So we don't need to load configuration. We don't need our load configuration methods here. We're just going to load the sound effects value. Is it that simple, Dominic? Please tell me it is, because if it is, that's really awesome. Let's see what's further down here. So in our configure services, where we tell our application, here's how to load configuration. Here's how to configure everything. Dominic has changed this from configuring the sound effects configuration with just that section. Instead, configure a dictionary of type string, sound effects definition. Get that.
You can do it!
Is it that easy? Are you kidding me? And you've just changed this from file to files so that it'll load properly. Really? Is it that easy?
Oh my.
I mean, it looks like it compiled properly. What I'd like to do, I'd like to test this if that's okay. I love simple. I agree. I think this type of, right, this is something that, if this works, we need to get some better documentation on this out there somewhere. Don't you love when sometimes the easiest things gets overlooked? You know what, Lycan? I don't think we so much overlooked it, but it's not described very well out there, and I think Dominic's done a nice job of describing this. What I'd like to do, just to test this locally, is I'm going to grab a copy here, put it down locally. You're going to auto-merge here. Fine. And go back to Visual Studio. So here it's receiving all the things. Let's take a look and see if this works. It is clever. I think it looks really cool. Nice. I like the pass emotes there. From Adam. Nice. We could use a ship it. You don't need to put the numbers at the end of the and thens, Hugo. It automatically knows exactly what to do. Alright, so if I browse here to attention, so we get to the sound effects screen. So now there's 2 bots out there hanging, listening to it. So go ahead and trigger, ooh, that might be where I'm having this problem with the extended commands. I'm gonna put a bookmark there so we come back to it. We use AD, however, we don't work that side of IT. Okay, you're talking about AD. Hugo, yeah, we need to put. I need to figure out where to put that cheer. I haven't written any code yet. There we go. It played the and then. That's right. That did the right thing. I like it. Yeah. And it ran that twice.
Oh my.
It's playing it here in the new version. No, please. Terrific. I'm going to say, let's take it. Yeah. This is great and under-documented. We should, we should blog about this, add an entry to the official documentation showing this technique. Because it's a really cool technique that Dominic gave us here. This is great. Thank you so much, Dominic. Huge points to you. Come on. Why is that taking so long to play? There it goes. Thank you very, very much. Yeah. Very, very cool. Maybe worth having a look at Docs Microsoft. Yeah, I agree. Spec Silent Sean, would an eye option snapshot work easily enough for reloading? Yeah, it would. Do I have this bot running on a cloud server or my own? Right now, this bot is running in a...
Lannon gifted Dom for subscription. Lannon gifted a tier 1 sub to Dom.
Thank you so much, Lannon.
Gift subs in the channel.
That is awesome. Thank you so much for gifting a sub to Dominic there. Very, very cool. It's underdocumented, and it's a technique that we should show. Absolutely. Nice thing about Docs Microsoft, if there's an enhancement that should be made, it's just a PROA. Yeah, absolutely. But eye option snapshot would work. This is running on my local machine here. I'll show you. It's right there. I would like to get it eventually running in the cloud. The only reason it isn't is because I change it so much. And I don't want it running all the time. which is part of why we're working on the new bot. Because the new bot is intended to be run cloud first and locally second. Let's make sure, check the last one. So this one I don't so much care about, but auto fixture X unit, yes, we'll squash and merge that. Very cool stuff. So I'll take that. And then the last thing I said, the last thing that I want to do here is, so let me go back to my dev branch where I normally work, pull in all the changes. I'm going to delete the local working branch I had for that pull request. So there, I've pulled in the changes. Good. I want to check why the shout out command isn't working. So I think it's this return false right here. I think it's not going through and actually triggering the shout out command for some reason. While this is running, right, you should be able to run, right, the live coders command should work. Oh wait, it's just merged into this. It hasn't loaded yet. Hang on. Right, so there's the return false. Right, so if I run that, there you go. There's the live coders team. Hello, Namazri. Getting way better at programming on .NET Core. Hey! Oh, hopefully I'm your way to get better at programming. Maybe. Hey, Drexel Dave. You've used Perforce for years, finally starting to flip over for Git, trying to get the syntax still. I have an open discussion with Phil Hack. Phil's been interested in joining us here on stream and doing a getting started with GitHub for newbies, for folks maybe that aren't in software development, and source control might be valuable for them, because Git and GitHub are really great at managing text files, managing changes, and that change control management is something that a lot of folks could use. Everyone does struggle with that transition. So let me try doing a shout out here. Let's try putting a shout out for Lannon and see what happens. So, Hisleo, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate you joining us, and I look forward to seeing you in the chat room. So it's doing a return false here. And, nope, the shout out worked. Yeah, we're good. So if that all works, right? Yeah. All right. So I'm going to do a quick release here of the changes that we made to the bot, and I'll restart the bot here real quick. I have a build command that I have inside my folder here, but we're going to build and release. I think it's going to be 1.14.3 will be the version there. Yeah. So that's going to be, let's .build 1.14.3. And this script will automatically put a git tag on the current version, build the new Docker container, and deploy the Docker container. So all I have to do is restart here. Noticed Visual Studio Code had a recent update making merges easier. Yes. There's a number of things that are being done with Visual Studio Code to make integrating with GitHub and integrating with Azure DevOps a lot easier, so that you can work and be more visual with how you interact with those platforms directly from the Visual Studio Code editor. Really great stuff. Lannon's going to be streaming a little bit later today. Fantastic. Definitely not using Git very well, says nothing else matters. What's the matter?
Oh my.
I pay close attention to my use, so any help is appreciated. Maybe pass that to Phil. I like to think there's maybe 3 or 4 key features that you need to use in Git on a regular basis. And this is still running in the background. I'm going to stop that. You need to be able to commit. You need to be able to branch. You need to be able to rebase. That's a tough one. Pull and push are the big ones that I think folks need to know how to use to be competent. Andrew Locke has a pretty good blog post on the iOptions thing. Yeah. The thing with iOptions versus iOptions snapshot. It doesn't make too much of a difference to this project because it's running in a Docker container. The options, the file that's changing are environment variables that are outside the project. I'm not modifying app settings directly where it would reload. The difference, right? The difference between iOptions and iOptions snapshot, when you reference that in your ASP.NET Core code, there, that finished. It looks like everything's running. Is iOptions just grabs the settings at start and keeps it in memory. iOptions snapshot will watch your config files on disk, and if they change, will reload and reset the configuration options. So I need to be able to receive and handle those, but my code isn't written in a way, and my hosting isn't built in a way where it would receive those new options and configure. Still haven't learned really how to rebase. Rebase is tricky. How to fix simple flubs. Hugo, I don't like to cuss on stream here. I'm going to restart the bot real quick. There it goes. I don't like to cuss on stream, but there's a really great website you can go to that will tell you exactly how to do this. There's about a half dozen or so issues here. It's a little bit coarse language, but check it out at that website, okay? It is actually very good. Okay? So, like I said, I'm not a fan of some of that language on my stream, but it's a good website that I want to make sure that folks get to see. Since you're the Git guy, yeah, maybe you copy out some of those recommendations, and you make the language a little bit more safe for work. Robert Tables, working with Git is one of the reasons your stream is mature audience. Woo! There you go. All right. Let's see here. Docker compose in PowerShell. Maybe check out Dev Toolbox on the PowerShell gallery. Provide some nice aliases. There you go. All right. Have I ever done any work videos with Identity Server? Asks Angry Little Hamster. I have not. It's something that I should do at some point. Maybe we have. I've talked to Brock. Just last month I talked to him about coming on stream, and maybe that's something we can do together. Git and roofing. All right, that's a little. Yeah, that's a thing. All right. Let's see here. Let's so I think we've got everything in place for our current bot. Now we can go back over and talk about the new bot that we've been working on, because I think there's some really cool stuff in here that you might enjoy seeing how it works. Let me go over. There it is. There's the Pixel bot. So Pixel bot is a large, intended to be cloud-sized. Yeah, see, I knew that didn't work because I've got things that I'm breaking left and right over here. Hey, Brave Cobra, good to see you. No, not that project. I need to go over to the other project. Here it is. So this started as a bot for just Quiltoni a long time ago, but we've been slowly upgrading it, slowly adding new features, intending to get this to something that's cloud scale. And we've gotten to a point now where we have, oh my gosh.
Brave Cobra 2 just resubscribed for 8 months. Sharing is caring.
Thanks so much, Brave Cobra. I really appreciate that resub. Yeah. You like the new gift sub badge? It is very, very fancy. Looks much better. Hey, Wild Genie. Welcome. Why didn't I see that cheer? We should have seen that cheer. All right. Maybe more stream elements that I need to configure. Thanks so much for that. Oh, you know what? No, it's like a minimum of 10 before it announces it. But you can cheer less. Okay, so where did we go here? Where was I saying? So we've been slowly adding features to this, making this much more robust and getting ready to make it cloud scale. We're using the actor model and architecture using Akka.net, which initially looks a little intimidating. We get into some things there that can be very interesting at scale, which is something that we're going to run into here, where we want to be able to manage more than one chat room at the same time. Let's start with 2. We'll eventually get to 5, 10, 20, millions. All of Twitch. Maybe not all of Twitch, but we want to be able to manage those and have some neat widgets and some of the innovative features that we have both in the Fritz bot, in Quiltony's bot, where it'll receive notifications for things like there's a Shopify sale, right? Your Shopify storefront had a sale, and we'd like to be able to have that pop up as a notification on screen. Cool. Okay, that's something that we built support for. This is bringing all the bots that I've built together, including also the bot Snickers Von Glitter bot that we started with Fairy Wings. Snickers Von Glitter bot. Say that 5 times fast.
Wow.
Yes, wow. Owen Wilson. That allows folks to cheer and build out a little cheer bar. So a custom cheer bar that shows different things that are going on there. Really neat stuff. So right, this is my Highlander moment. There can be only one bot, and I'm going to make it cloud scaled first, but also allow folks to be able to download and run it locally if they need to. And if you're running it locally, you won't get as many cool features in it, but that's okay. The folks that want to run it locally, it's a different experience. It's a different model. You think I should call it Fritz Elements? No. We'll call it something fun. But Fritz Elements, no. I don't want to steal somebody else's brand. I've got my own brand and things that we do here. Okay, we're going to come back to this. I see. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Really liking the visual changes. Thank you, Robert Tables. Fritz and Giggles. Gritty bot. Ooh. Got to be careful with that. Since the Philadelphia Flyers own Gritty, we need to make sure naming something after him could be different. Fritzbot is just part of it, right? I think there's a bigger thing that's happening here. When last we met, when last we worked on this, we were working on making features a first level concept within the bot, within this, so that we could develop a feature outside of the main application and have it dynamically loaded into the bot. This way, we can have DLLs that contain isolated features, load them up and add new features without having to change the core source code to the entire application. They'll just be dynamically loaded, configured, and allocated for each channel that wants to use them. This way, we can also have beta release rings, just like you see from Windows, from Visual Studio Code, from other places where they've got early release cycles to folks. So all of these are really cool features that we want to bring in as part of this ability to isolate features components. And it also kind of embraces the single responsibility principle. Build one thing, build it well. Do it well. Typically that's referenced in terms to one object. Well, we're going to take that and bring it to a feature and have that feature be loaded dynamically for each channel. Previously on C# Fritz. Well, I'd like to call the show Fritz and Friends, but yeah. So I still have to finish doing the layouts for when I have guests on. So don't forget, Oh, grit git. That's nice, Robert Tables. I like what you did with that. Yeah. That's pretty good. Community bot? Don't know about that. Got to think about it. I want to make sure I remind you, we are a week away from our ASP.NET Core workshop. Next week, live here on the channel, 1 week from now, we're going to have a full day workshop going through and showing you building your first ASP.NET Core applications. Naming things is hard. Yes. Very, very hard. Bot. Now that's wrong, Pluto Nan. No. We're not going to go there. All right. So, the other things I took away, I also took off the current number of viewers on here so that that number isn't floating around. Body McBotface. There it is. That's what we're going to have there. Cold ASIC. Thank you. I appreciate the follow. I look forward to seeing you in the chat room. All right. Let me show you where we left off here. I've got an extra one of these. That's fine. Lots of stuff open right now. So let me change over to the other project here. Wow, look at all that in the output window. Friend for everybody. Ooh. Okay. What time am I starting my day-long ASP.NET stream? Same time I normally do, 10 a.m. Eastern. You can find out more clicking the events button up at the top. I'm not sure I'm going to recruit guests to join me throughout the day. I got to work on that. Got to figure that one out. Tay Enhanced. Prefer the name Kevin. Kevin? Kevin for a bot? I don't know. Bots are us, says sequel Mr. Magoo. I don't know about that. Okay. Oh, it's cold as ice. That's what that last follow was. Ah, okay. Bob. Okay, Bob is all right. We can use Bob. Bob will be a great. Previously, we had an extensibility project out here that we started building. And this is actually going to run into a little bit of a reference problem here. And I think I didn't pull in my latest updates to this project because I was working on my other machine. Yep, there it is. So I moved everything. See, that extensibility is empty now. Because I've moved everything, yeah, and I got rid of the extensibility project. And the idea was that we have a couple interfaces, a couple things that we need in order to be able to extend our application. Activating, so we have a feature defined by this interface. The feature has a name. Is it visible to the channel that's requesting it? Is it enabled on the channel that's requesting it? And I started thinking we need to write some code to kind of drive out a little bit of that. So I started writing this base class to accept feature information and define a little bit here. And it's not quite there yet. I also figured we needed an attribute here that defines, well, what events in the stream are you connecting to? The stream event I put over here, right? You can see it's, there it is. There's the sync button. There it is. It's in my core project here that'll be referenced by every project. But is the stream event, a command was received, a gift subscription, a message happened, we received a raid, we got a resubscription, we got a subscription, and I marked this with the flags attribute. And these I'm using bit increments here, right? Binary increments here, so that we can bitwise OR them together and be able to decide, well, which events are you listening to without sending around an array of these things. We can just say, here's the stream events that I'm listening to. Hey, CM Chris Jones, good to see you. On your mobile, I hope that's a good size for you. Let me know. Call it Kyle and feed it Monster. Feed it, oh, please. Bot core. That's not bad. Could name it something with core in the title. I don't know. Kenny with a "They Killed Kenny" clip when it dies. That's a little extra. Botanist. Ah, the simian. That's a name for our friend, the Node Botanist. Yeah. We can support them. So the service status page says bottoms up. I gotcha. I got that beat copying. I see what you did there. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So I have this attribute that we can assign to our features to say, here's what I want to listen to. Now, with all of that built and in mind out there, we're starting to make it bigger. We're starting to make it stronger and aware of these features. So I created an actor over here inside of our actors folder that will do the bootstrapping of this. So this is another actor called the plugin bootstrapper. And I want to hang this directly off the root of our actor hierarchy so that we can always find it. And I'm also making a static path available to it so I can always know where it is so I can send it a message. Because I want to send it a message that says, hey, I need any features for a given stream event, a specific stream event. And what it should do is get those features. Code phobia with the raid. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for that raid. I need to figure out why it didn't make the noise, but thank you very much. Welcome, Raiders. My name is Jeff Fritz. And Caillou, thank you for the follow. My name is Jeff Fritz, and we're working on a little bit of a bigger scope chatbot here. We're building something using distributed technologies using the actor model with Akka.net in .NET Core. Thanks so much for sending your friends over here, Codephobia. What were you working on your stream? Let us know there in the chat room. So if anybody wants to check out your stream next time, they can follow up. Flexibot. Actresses? Well, they would be actresses. Right, actor is just a generic name. Actresses is definitely got the female gender. But actor, right, there are folks who want to be actor even though they're not necessarily male. I think that's House Be Such. Thanks so much for that resub. That's going to put you into a red hat. And we'll make a donation to our next tech charity here. As we do with all of our cheers and subs, I'm just having a hard time identifying one because I want to make sure this is an international scope charity. Working on a website in Angular. Very cool. All right. So let's put a shout out there for our friend Codephobia. See, now it's not going to work. It worked just fine for us a little bit ago. And now it makes me sad. It was just working. Because I'm not debugging. Isn't that always the way? We found a bug. We found a ladybug in there. I don't know if it's whatever. The gender of the bug is different. Might not necessarily. All right. I'll have to take another look at that. But I want to show you this actor that I built here. I can't even use the works on my machine. I know, it worked like 10 minutes ago. So this actor is actually receiving the iService provider. This is the dependency injection container that our application uses. It has a reference, and it knows how to build all the objects in our application. So what I can do is inside of this method down here, get stream features for event, I'm going to receive whatever event it is that I'm looking for, right, on message. And I'm going to look at the collection of features that were loaded in this method up here and decide, well, do they have an activating events attribute, right? If they do, then let's go make sure that it's the event we're looking for and it's not the none event. So we do this bitwise OR to make sure that we properly find the event we're looking for. And we're going to add that to our collection, return the collection so that we can send back to the requesting object, well, here's the features that you're looking for. Now, in sending those features back, those are a collection of those. We're actually asking that dependency injection object to create the feature right there. Okay? So this way, in my new message actor, what I should be able to do now, and here's where we're going to jump in, is I should be able, as we create a new message actor, I should be able to start lighting up new features and configuring them to behave right here as they're added, right? So now let's write some new code. So let's ask for new features, right? I don't even want to say this. Maybe I do. This dot features equals, so I need to, no. Do I need to receive first? I'm going to be receiving from the bootstrapper. I'm going to, hang on. Becky Boo Doo Doo. Welcome, Becky. I appreciate you joining us. This is going to receive back a send features message that has that collection of features in it. So let me go back. I want to receive a send features, right? And what am I going to do with those? Well, I want to say this dot, no, I can't do, yeah, I could say this dot features equals that collection that was returned. This doesn't exist yet, so let's create that as a read-only property. So now I have the features that were sent. No. I want to receive the features that were sent, which are I features. Right? Like that. So now I have a collection. Oh boy, I'm going to say that word feature way too many times here. That should have worked. Cannot be assigned to, it's read-only. Fair? Like that. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to receive back those plugged-in features, right? Send features is a message that has a collection of these feature objects that we're going to be able to wire up here. After I receive them, I need to configure them. Like, check to make sure that they can be configured. But even before I receive them, I need to actually request them. So how am I going to request them? Let's see. I need to tell the, ask from the bootstrapper, plugin bootstrapper. So the plugin bootstrapper is, right, I can say actor of, no, I don't want to, right, it's not ask. Mr. Streamy, see, now you're assuming gender. I don't want to assume gender. Actor selection. Constructs an actor for the given path, which is parsed for wildcards. We did this, I'm doing this right there as chat logger. Where's chat logger equals context actor selection? That's what I want. Context actor selection. And I want to go get it from the plugin bootstrapper, and I'm saving off its path right at the top of this. Right, so when this is created, or maybe I didn't. All right, fine. Path equals context self path. So now the path that this lives at is up here, so it'll find it. ToString. Okay. So context actor selection, and I want to, is it ask? Yeah. I want to ask for something, an object. Yeah. And I'm going to ask for a new, come here, request features for stream event. And the stream event that I want is on message, because I'm inside the on message actor. I'm going to get rid of this extra namespacing here. that's better. Okay, so now I've configured, all right, I'm going to receive, when I receive send features, do this. Actor selection, go find the plugin bootstrapper, and give me the features for the on message so that we can load those up. And we're going to save them down here. We still need to configure them, but I'm not quite there yet where I know how to configure them yet. And the first feature, the canonical feature that we're going to build to kind of flesh this out is, I started creating standard features, a chat room feature. So you saw right over in this view, I've got a chat room widget feature here. We're going to build this inside of our code right here. Make sense? Did I lose you, chat room? I know this is getting a little complicated. We're going a little back and forth on some things. Let me know. This is a little bit complicated architecture here. Can you ask? Absolutely. You can always ask. How do I know there's only one instance of plugin bootstrapper? Good question. I'll tell you. So plugin bootstrapper, I wrote a create, and I was thinking I need this to be a singleton. So I wrote this create method, and it's called in only one place. And it's here inside of the channel manager actor. There is only one instance of the channel manager actor because it's created over here in my startup class. Right there. And actually, I'm okay if there's multiple instances of it. By using the actor model and traversing into this by saying, well, go find that object on this path and give me one of these. When I deploy, I'll eventually be able to segment these out and put actors on different machines, different containers. I said containers, Robert tables. And we'll load those up dynamically, right? It'll load up and interact with those dynamically. Akka will do all of that work for me, and I can just function based on, well, go give me this thing that lives at this location. It might be on another machine. It might be on this machine in a different container. Let the framework figure that out. So Ultramark, you're right. There would normally be a concern. Well, are you sure you only have one? I'm okay if there's multiple. It might be on a different thread. It might be in the background. It might be somewhere else entirely. Let Akka figure that out. That way, right, I don't have to think about threading and asynchronous processing and all that stuff. Let all that goo happen. Would multiple instances overwrite that static path multiple times? The path's always going to be the same. The path gets created based on where it's being built and hanging. So inside of Channel Manager Actor is where it creates the plugin bootstrapper. So it's only created once. So for every Channel Manager Actor, and this is the top of our actor hierarchy, it has one reference to it. And that path will always be the same. If there's multiple instances of it, that's okay. Right? That path should be all right, because it'll manage the various instances. Consider mind-boggled. Ultramark, I haven't used this at scale yet, but what I'm seeing, that works. So, if there's multiple instances, it handles that for us behind the scenes. So, refresh my memory. Are we running the actor in different containers or different processes? Don't know yet. But that deployment model will hit later. Everything that I've seen at this point, I'm okay with. Right? This shouldn't misbehave. And if I go back over to here and we look up, right, is it get Akka? Right, and I look at the documentation. When we set up things like remoting, location transparency with a remote actor ref, right? Code that looks like it's communicating with local actors, but with just a few communication settings, your actors can begin communicating with actors hosted in remote processes that's fully location transparent to your code. So everything in Akka is designed to work in a distributed setting. All interactions with actors are purely message passing and asynchronous. So actors are for high concurrency without needing to lock. You found there is a non-curse word version of the Git site called Dang It Git. Fantastic. Thank you. Hugo, can you share that link, please? Every time I hear Akka, I internally sing good Hooked on a Feeling. Thank you, Hugo. Yeah, that's better. Dang it, Git. Thank you. Bring that over here. So, remoting could be used here. You're going to bring in clustering and make this happen. But remote messaging should work. Right? Sending actor, receive actor. This is all still right. There's where we're going to run into an issue. That's where it's going across a remote location and not local. That could be a problem. And we will figure that out later, I think. Looks like there's some configuration you can do to make this work. But until I get to the problem where I need to scale, here's Yagni. I don't need it yet. We're at a point where we should be able to, with very little configuration change, make that work. And I'm okay with that. The fact that all the other stuff that I've written doesn't need to change, and it's just one property, the path, fine. That works for me. So, continuing looking here. Premature optimization. Yes, Legendary Moo. Yes. Don't optimize your code prematurely. Wait. Okay. The more you know. Wasn't trying to doubt, just trying to wrap your head around it. No. And you know what, Ultramark? You actually sent us off on just a little bit of a hunt that confirmed this is a concept that we need to be aware of. Don't statically reference these things. Let's make sure that we properly use the actor model to interact with them so that we can minimize the amount of change that we'll need to make. I need a squirrel command. That would be good. That would be good. Okay, so the new message actor is going to receive that collection of features. And the first feature that I want it to find is the chat room feature. How does the chat room feature work? Good question. I have no idea. So the base feature has this concept of configuration that's going to be passed into it. And somehow that configuration is going to specify whether it's visible or enabled to the channels. So I feel like Okay. One thing at a time. Let's do this. Let's let's put a break here. Make sure that we receive those features before I go proceeding too much further here. Viewers need to be able to trigger more sound effects. Yes. Thank you. If there's, yeah. Let's open that real quick. So we got Oh My No, we didn't put shame in there. We put that one. We put that one. Needs a squirrel command as well. Yep. Got that one. That one's in there. It's rim shot. Yeah, and I didn't put the squirrel command in there. Okay. I'm going to leave that open so I can come back to that. There we go. So there's the bot loaded. I'm going to log in. This will route through. See, it's connecting to auth0. Back to localhost. There you can see my login information. Go back over to current channels, and I can join this channel. And something happened. Did we hit the breakpoint? No. Now I've done it. Yeah, it is probably why the issue's still open. That was working. What broke? Because it's not showing the channels that I'm currently joined to. What broke? Okay, so let's back up because, oh man, I broke something. I should be able to get the list of... Oh, I gotta debug now. What did I break? What did I break? Is it... No. It's in the components. Pages. Current channels. Right? So there's the list in the current channels. That's over here. Report current channels. We should be asking, right, to the channel manager there. That doesn't feel right. Let's refresh the page and see what it's doing. There we go. Channel manager. Okay, so that is the top level channel manager. Good. And it's going to ask it to report. Where is it? It should have a receive in here that says, oh, I'm going to go do this. Receive, report current channels. Sender tell the current list of channel actors. All right, so let me put a breakpoint on that, and it should hit there. And it didn't. All right, so it's going to do that. And boom. All right, so I broke something good. Thoroughly enjoying the virtual actor model, but I'm sometimes still baffled as to why, when I encountered dependency injection a couple years ago, where do these services come from? Yeah. 347 Vesta asks, what are my PC specs? I have a blog post that'll tell you all about that. Let me grab that for you real quick. 347 Vesta. This is an i7, I believe it's an 8700 with 32 gig of RAM. Yeah. Take a look there under the heading computing power. Yeah, dependency injection is a pretty cool thing. But for some reason, this isn't getting there, which should be being output as a failed request. Wow. I'm not seeing any of the Akka messaging come out here. Like, Akka should be logging here that, oh, this worked, this didn't work. Something... Let me go back over to this. Let's see what it... Right, that should still work. Should. You're going to head out. Take care, Lennon. Great to see you. RAM is cheap. Yes, it is. Yep. Oh, there. Error while creating actor instance of type channel manager with 3 arguments. Ah, that's where it is. Okay, so I have a create and it's passing in. Well, wait a sec. I shouldn't be passing that in. Oh, I've got too many arguments there. Building. Now I can't turn and show you the build thing in the corner because it's behind me, but built properly. You'd build again since a lot of things are dropping in price. Well, this is a Dell workstation that I there we go. That I bought and I improved I swapped out the video card on. Yep, logged in, current channels. It should be joining that channel. Okay. So something's breaking there in trying to send it. That's Blazor. Do I have any more red in here from Akka trying to create something? Because I have a feeling I do. Oh no, wait, I'm at a break point. There we go. If channel actors contains key message, channel name. What did we hit there? What's the stack look like? Ah, because I'm telling it to join where there is no channel name. That's a mistake. If string is null or empty, message dot channel name, return false. Do that validation right up front here. Wouldn't build into the new Ryzen stuff is reviewed. I have a budget motherboard, so my RAM is limited at... Okay. Ryzen does bring more than Intel right now, is the word, yes. Yep. Well, the games are probably built with a bit of Intel-specific referencing at this point. What are you doing? Try that again. You like the new look? Thank you, Pac-Man Jr. Yeah. A lot of the color suggestions came from our friend Corgi Candy. There's some new emotes out there. We're going to rotate some of the emotes coming through. The Darn Skippy emote has been updated for folks that are Tier 1. Tier 2 and Tier 3, you'll get there's a sleeping bot and there's a laughing bot that you'll get now. So if we join that, there it goes. Now we should start to see messages coming through here from chat. There you go. There you go. It's a little bit small, so we'll zoom in a bit. So I've got Firefox. Ha! And actually, this is... I normally run Firefox. This is running inside of Credge. I didn't mean to close that. I didn't mean to close that. Start that again. Right, this is the new Edge. I like to run the Canary version of Edge so that we see and test and tinker with all the new features as they're made available. So that's logging in using Twitch through Auth0 and coming back. Let me go back to this. Rejoin. And we should start to see those chat messages. Illuminated Space, hello. Happy Friday. Happy day after Independence Day here in the States. There you go. There's Codephobia's test message. So the messages are appearing. It should have tried to load the features right here, but it didn't. Okay, so that would have come down into plugin bootstrapper, sender tell, new send features. So let's do this. Did we have any errors reported over here? Don't see any. Okay, let's try that again. And I know I could write a unit test to exercise this. I could. I should. I didn't. Log in. Right. Bang. All right. Gets 4, and it's asking for the on message. Good. So it's going to get features for that stream event. Look at the list of features. There is one feature available. There it is, the chat room feature that we've been building. Cool. It's going to take a look and see the features to make, which is, enumerate it. Do it. There it is, chat room feature. All right. Yeah. Do it. All right. So we're going to call provider get service as I feature. That came back as null. So it's saying that chat room feature cannot be cast as an I feature. Interesting. I know. We should write a unit test here. That would be a little bit easier to work with to ensure this is working properly. Let me look at the immediate window here. So I'm Control-Alt-I, drops me into the immediate window, which is now right behind me here. And that's going to be a little bit weird for you to see. Tell you what, I'm going to dock it here next to me so that I can type and you can see it. So let me try, what happens if we do provider get service? Do I get it? Right? Provider get service F. Do I actually get back the feature object? I don't even get the feature object, so it's having a hard time creating that type in F, chat room feature. Right? Can I do activator, create instance, and get the object? I get the object there. So, chat room, I originally wanted to route through the dependency injection provider so that if it required any dependencies, they could be automatically fulfilled. I worried about that because that feels like it could be a security issue, you know? But if we do activator create instance like this, we're forcing there to be a parameterless constructor, right? We're forcing everything to be built the same way, and you can't request features. You need to have that passed into you as a dependency. Maybe we give you some way to declare a dependency for your feature, and we decide to inject it later. It would certainly make things easier if I go through this way to return them. That way, right? That way I can automatically load dependent. I'm not worried about automatically loading dependencies of things that you shouldn't have. And there's going to be code security in there that we're going to run into that I don't want folks to have anyway. So maybe instead of provider get service here, we just do activator create instance. And call it a day. Yeah. In which case I don't need the providers to be passed along here. That's not too bad. So if I, yeah, let me rip out the provider being passed in. I clearly don't need that at this point. And I can also go back to the channel manager actor, and instead of this receiving the service provider, I just nuke that. Don't need that. Don't need that for right now. Okay. So I've simplified that. I now need to simplify the create method here. I don't need that or that. Finally, over here in startup where it's being created, I don't need that. Okay. So now I should get, in the new message actor, I should get the features being enumerated. Do you follow, chat room? Does that make sense what I'm doing here? I'm simplifying and taking dependency injection for our features out of the mix. So our, in this case, the chat widget feature won't have that capability. Let me do this. I'm gonna, there we go. You don't need to see my entire microphone arm hanging out there in the screen. Hooray for Simplificate. Yes. Maybe we can write a unit test or two to go with this so that I don't have to go through and do this every time. All right, there it's getting the, it's requesting features for it. So I should be able to step in there. And if I step out, so the features that are being returned there, now it's got one feature, chat room feature, that it's going to return. And it's instantiated and ready to go. So I'll let that go. And did I add the cheer graffiti? I did not yet. We should. We should. Let me put that here. What's interesting, this receive didn't fire. We're gonna need to look at that. Right, it was 100 from, who was it? Nothing else matters. Thank you for reminding me. And today is the 5th of July. So this should be receiving here. Let's go back over. This should be calling sender tell. So let's move the breakpoint down here. Let's inspect that sender and make sure that it really is the appropriate object there. And yeah, I need to get to writing unit tests for these so I can see, make those inter-actor interactions very visible so that we know what's going on there, right? Because right now, it depends on somebody joining in order to see this. So sender is temp I. Temp I. It's not created yet. It's not fully created yet. Right? It's sending... Right? This hasn't been... I need to... No unit test needed. Everything is first time right. Oh. I wish. What I should do Right, there is an event here we can override. Around pre-start. Can be overridden. I want to do it's like pre-start. It's called when an actor is started. Actors are automatically started asynchronously when created. Yeah. So inside of here is when I want to go get that information so that it's all hydrated and knows what it needs to. Well, it's not started yet. It's right? It's like post start, after start is when I want to do this. No. And it's not before stop. Around pre-start. Nah. Let's see what happens with that. Because I expect it to land over here. And this is part of this is my learning of Akka.net and the actor system. When exactly do these events fire? When do the interactions happen? And building those unit tests would help identify some of these things. I think that's something we need to get to here. Joined. Okay, so sender is... Yeah, it's still that temp. It doesn't know what that is yet. Yeah. So where do we move that? Right. Let's go back to concepts. Supervising, monitoring, configuration. No, I don't want that configuration. Let's get to 100. Trying to get the sentiment analysis to 100. Absolutely. Thanks, Mixed Exodus. I appreciate the happiness there. Very cool. Testing is where we need to get into here. So in the constructor, we set up all the receive, so we indicate where it should be going to. It's a good idea to provide static factory methods which help the creation. Yeah, already did that. Okay. Creating actors, yeah, done that. Actor API, self, sender. Pre-restart, no. Okay, here we go. Empty path, actor incarnation. Path is reserved, random UID is assigned to incarnation. That's what we're seeing right now. Actor instance is created, pre-start is called on an instance. Belongs to a path, so it's after it's been actually created, when it starts acting. Death Watch, no. That's funny, but no. Right after starting the actor, its pre-start method is invoked. Right. We're not doing a restart. It's like, I want an after start event hook. Right? Oh, thank you, Mixed Exodus, for the kind words. Yeah, it is pretty awesome. Alka, hello. Good to see. Is that Cesar Romero's Joker? Alka? Let me know. That looks like Cesar Romero. Messages and immutability. Tell is fire and forget. Ask sends a message asynchronously and returns a future representing a possible reply. Oh, am I using ask wrong? Hey, Source Scoot. Good seeing you. Have a great rest of the stream. Thank you very much. Love the Octocat. So I am doing an ask. Sends a message and returns a future. Okay, hang on. So maybe I'm using the ask wrong. Ask since something needs to keep track of when it times out. Yeah. Okay, so actor, ask. The ask pattern involves actors as well as tasks. Hence, it is offered as a use pattern rather than a method. Okay. To complete the task with an exception, you need to send a failure message. No. Using ask will send a message to the receiving actor as with tell, and the receiving actor must reply with sender, tell, reply, self. Okay, so that's my reply. Sender. Self. Like that? You're the only one I've known to know who it is. Oh, cool. I got it right. Ha ha! I was a big fan of this 1960s Batman TV show. So maybe that'll handle that sender tell back properly. Let's see if that works. Let me tell you, Alka, that's the challenges of a misspent youth. Hey, Poker Face, welcome. What kind of what flavor of poker? What game of poker do you enjoy? 7 card stud. One of the Hold'em variants. Pow, bam. Yes, Jeremy Knight. Yes. So let's try this. Login. There it goes. Sender tell, and that should send back appropriately. No, it didn't get it. No. I think... Right, that's... Sender tell self. If the actor does not complete the task, it'll expire. No. You can forward a message. No. 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 Using predicates. Receive any. No. Non-generic overloads. Reply to messages. If you want to handle for replying to a message, you can use sender, which also gives you an actor ref. I mean, that's what I'm already doing. So, receive timeout. No. Stopping actors. It's not stopping. Become, unbecome, stash, killing an actor, actors and exceptions, initialization patterns. Via constructor, via pre-start. The method pre-start of an actor is only called once directly during the initialization of the first instance. That is, at creation of its actor ref. In the case of restarts, pre-start is called from post-restart. Therefore, if not overwritten, pre-start, blah, 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 blah. No, that's not it. Initialization via message passing. There we go. Okay. There are cases when it is impossible to pass all the information needing for an actor initialization in the constructor. True, that's our instance here. For example, in the presence, I think we found it. In the presence of circular dependencies. Okay. In this case, the actor should listen for an initialization message and use become, or a finite state machine state transition to encode the initialized and uninitialized states of the actor. Now, what I'm seeing here is something that typically happens with technical documentation. You've talked yourself in circles in writing this line here. An initialization message, use become or a finite state machine state transition. Look at that. You've defined itself with itself to encode the initialized and uninitialized states of the actor. Oh boy. We're going to receive a message, a string that equals init. Initialize equals, now what's become do here? If the actor may receive messages before it has been initialized, a useful tool can be the stash to save messages until the initialization finishes and replaying them after the actor becomes initialized. Great, how do I do that? Enables with unbounded enables an actor to temporarily stash away messages that it cannot or should not be handled during the actor's current behavior. A Upon changing the actor's message handler right before invoking become stacked or unbecome stacked, all stashed messages can be unstashed. Oh. Thereby prepending them to the actor's mailbox. So I with unbounded stash receive any stash. Adds the current message to the actor's stash. You like Hold'em? Cool. No limit Hold'em is crazy. You don't play poker too much? That's alright. Not a problem. Super can't be Batman with a BAM, and PAL should be part of a good channel raid defense. That's not a bad idea. Aspiring DevOps guru. I gotta make a note of that. That's going to be my raid defense. Oh, I love it. I love it. Killing an actor sounds like a documentary title. Hello, Tim Bodette. Hey, Tim Bodette is here. Hey, Tim. Great to see you. Tim's another one of our live coders on the team, as well as Alka's on the team also, right? Great to see everyone. And I think Illuminated Space is as well, right? There's so many of us now, I'm losing track. That's a good thing. Yes, there we go. I was right. Illuminated Space was just recently added. Okay. So what I need... Will the stash do this? Receive any, stash, receive any. I'm not a fan of that. Use become. Well, what did become do? Akka supports hot swapping the actor's message loop at runtime. Use the context become method from within the actor. The hot swapped code is kept in a stack, which can be pushed and popped. Okay. So here in the constructor, receive, and it's becoming. That doesn't make sense to me what it's doing. This variant of the become method is useful for many different things, such as to implement a finite state machine. Ugh. The other way of using become does not replace, but add to the top of the behavior stack in this case. Care must be taken to ensure the number of pop operations push comes in. This is getting confusing. Always warm welcomes here for friends in the channel. Absolutely. Right, this is part of that positive and uplifting community that we have for everybody on the team. So, what does Akka do for me? It sets up the message transport and instance management of each one of these actors, so we can set up things on separate threads easily. I will figure it out. Yes, Robert Tables, we will. I'm not a fan of that account there and that name. I want to make sure that the channel's family friendly, and I worry about that. Finite State sounds like a good movie title. Yeah. But this initialization via message passing, this feels like what I need to be doing here. Right here. You were coding when Kasukin was presenting. Ah, that's great. And you're finally in the programming stage. You know what? There's something to be said for the folks that are doing game development. Tim's doing it. Lana Lux is doing it. She's also on the team. There's one or two other folks that are on the team that are building games. There's something to be said for getting all your art, all your models, all your sound effects down properly so that you can start building. And the pivot back and forth between game development and asset creation and management it is something that I couldn't handle, right? It's much respect to those folks that can pivot back and forth. I've seen Lana do this, where she'll write a little bit of code and then build some models for the next scene that she wants to build. And she'll take those models and place them and then write some code for what those interactions should be. And then she'll take a day or two and build some more models for the next scene. And if it needs to be really detailed, really go after those things and make sure it's right. And then go write the code for those interactions. There's something to be said for much respect to those game developers that are a full stack developer, being able to there you go. Honest Dan Games is there also. Yes, absolutely. It is quite impressive. All I'm doing is twiddling text and funny bits on a web browser. This feels like the right model here for this. Raziel Descartes, welcome. You're new. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Everybody, if you're interested and you want to know when we're going to be streaming again, click that follow button in the top corner. It'll help us reach our follower goal. If we get to 8,000 followers before September 15th, I will dye my beard rainbow for .NET Conf and TwitchCon that whole week. Trick is to make as few context swap as necessary. Yes. Oh my gosh. Tim's spot on with that. The fewer context swaps in memory, in your human memory, that you can go through, the more productive you'll be. We're doing this research here to figure out why the initialization pattern for the event management, the events that we're listening to on chat. Once we're through, we figure out how to handle those and initialize properly, right? We're going to be able to move forward quickly. You make a lot of context swaps. More power to you. Need to start luring beard dye. Yeah, you know what, Tim? It worked last summer. They thought it was funny, and I dyed my beard rainbow for a stream I'd ran from Channel 9 Studios on Microsoft campus in Seattle, the Seattle area, and that was a lot of fun. And I dyed my beard purple for the Visual Studio launch.
What did I miss?
Hey, Gary, thanks so much for that cheer. And I also dyed my beard purple for Build 2019. And I was sitting with a Microsoft vice president interviewing her, wearing my sequined blazer jacket, my sequined blazer, and she had no idea. No idea. She kind of looking at me like, what is with this guy? Have a trophy. No. Thank you so much. Teal Old Man is here. Hello. Nope, I don't have that command running right now. The blazer. Yes. I get myself in a similar rut when trying to decide when to prototype for a website or just going for it and figuring out the design as I go along. There's something to be said about prototyping and moving along here. Oh my gosh, Pac-Man Jr. with a cheer. Absolutely. Thank you so much for those cheers, and we'll make donations to our new technical charity, which I'm still having a problem with the international domestic nature of it. We're going to get that squared away, but I'm going to put those cheers right in my new message actor where we're wiring this up right here. So I will put 200 here from Carrie. There it is. 0507. And we've got another... That was 300 from Pac-Man Jr. Thank you so much for that very kind cheer. And there we go. Thank you very much. You have to wireframe. That's a great idea to wireframe stuff out. Absolutely. Stream has turned more cheery. Look at it. You can see the smiley face because of the happy messages coming through there, the positive messages in the chat room. Even though it's trending downward over the last 5 minutes, we'll see that arrow turn around and trend upward here. Since I'm new, may I ask if this is a tutorial? This is not today, Raziel. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. But we're going through and we're learning a little bit about the actor model. Next Friday, we're going to be doing a complete tutorial. Click the events button up at the top, the events link, and check out, I've got 2 full-day workshops that we've got scheduled on the 12th and the 19th to learn a little bit more about C# and ASP.NET. So, Carrie, we're working on getting features loaded, right? Or plugins is what we're building. We've got the ability to load plugins from disk, right? So I have, here they are. So in the plugins folder from wherever this bot lives, we're going to go find those DLLs that are sitting in a folder with the same name as that DLL, create that assembly, and add it into the application so that later, for a stream event, we can get those features that are listening, those plugins that are listening for some event on stream, get those back as objects, such as we're listening for new messages in chat, and act on those, do something with it. We're running into a little bit of we're running into a little bit of an issue here where we're trying to ask for the features. We're trying to configure the features for the event right here and pass them in so that it can configure it at that point. It needs to be a words command. Tell you what, Hugo, put that on the issue that we have out there for the new commands to add. So, your name's Tushar. I guess it's going to be more difficult to pronounce. Whatever. You tell me how you'd like me to refer to you. That's fine. Enjoy the quality beer. Oh, because Carrie's in Canada. Wireframing is more so about the layout and less about the design. Yes. Right, you're going to have wireframing to work on an application layout. You're also going to have data flow diagrams that you might generate to indicate a little bit of your architecture and system architecture diagrams to indicate how you're going to interact, how the application's going to behave. All right, we'll just go with Tushar then. All right, so let me keep plugging away here. So this isn't properly getting the features sent back to it. I'm in a disconnect state here where I'm not quite behaving properly. And this is just confusing, this syntax. Become what? What is it becoming? For a finite state machine transition to encode. Right, okay. So if I were to try and understand this, it's going to receive some sort of a string. If it's in the init command, it's going to put into the private variable initialize me, become, and if it receives a string, are you okay, and initialize me does not equal null, it's going to send or tell back. See, that's not it either. What have I become? I don't know. What does happy and sad face work with chat positiveness? So you're talking about over there. So the that gauge there is actually chat room sentiment. What you're seeing there is the smiley face or the sad face is the sentiment of the last messages that were analyzed from the chat room. Oh, thank you, Hugo. I try to be an equal opportunity offender with slaying and butchering international languages, non-English languages. Let's start there, right? So the smiley face is the most recent message that it's checked. The number, I believe, I gotta remember this, is either the 5-minute or the last minute sentiment, and the arrow is how it's been trending. So, you're an electronics and software engineer from India, code Python these days, but you're quite familiar with C# as well. Terrific. Yep, we're doing sentiment analysis. I don't like any of these solutions here, to be perfectly honest. You know? I don't. I really, really don't. It feels like, right? It feels like I should be able to receive and put those things in there, but it's not. Get the Google skills to work. About to become changes the actor's command behavior and replaces the current receive handler with the specified handler. Right, so, okay. So this is saying swap out that with this. No, that's not what I want to do. So become is wrong there. What if we did this? Maybe we can simplify this and get somewhere just a little bit easier. What if in the channel actor, when it's creating these things, maybe after we're done the create method here, right? So there, it creates the object right there, and it does it synchronously. Maybe at that point, we receive that interaction and say, okay, here it is, pass it over into the thing. Right? Maybe we just move that configuration one layer up the stack. What do you think? Right? So, thinking out loud and stepping through this, right? Because, I mean, a lot of programming is trial and error, right? Am I right? Instead of doing it here, right? We do that. Right, so now we're saying, oh my gosh, Teal Old Man.
Just gifted 5 subs.
Hello, thank you so much for that very generous gift to our community. Oh my gosh, Threnen, Coding Gorilla, Ultramark, Connor Wright, Kappa, Pat1567, congratulations, you just got a tier 1 sub. Thank you very much, Teal Old Man, for the very generous subs to the channel. And we're going to make some donations to our new coding charity here for the 3rd quarter. That is terrific. Thank you very, very much. Wow. Oh my gosh, that was a fine interruption there. I do not mind.
Squirrel.
When something like that happens, I would prefer to show some thanks, show some love to our very generous gift subscribers. Awesome stuff there. Yeah, there's the squirrel. That's a nice. That's a Bob Ross squirrel. All right, and I've got a goofy squirrel there hanging out there as well. What? There's my squirrel. Yep. What happened here? Okay. All right. Let's see here. Figure this out. So if I ask here, right? I've got a timeout and I've got 6 overloads. Well, I don't want. What else can we do? Cancellation token. Cancellation token. Cancellation token. There's a lot of cancellation tokening going on here. In these. Timeout and cancellation token. What's the 7th one? Message factory. No. So if I ask for that, then I'm going to need to receive it somewhere and put it, but I don't necessarily know what message I'm going to be receiving because I'm going to spin these up real quick, right? And I need to know what message it's coming back for, what event it's coming back for, so I can play it out appropriately. Help me out here, chat room. Help me out. That feels weird to do it here then, because I would request it for each one of the different events. And I would get 6 different sets of them for all the different features that I would need to split out. You know? Versus if that plugin descriptor is sitting out there as is sitting out there like a static object, I could grab it and synchronously request it and put it down. Right? Put it into the appropriate message handler, event handler. That feels weird. That doesn't feel right to me. Feels easier, not necessarily right. How do we do this? I need to get the collection of features for that method, for that event. I would request it as part of configuration. The configuration takes place here. So it should be here. What if I had a reference directly to it, to that actor? No, I'm still doing a message pattern to get that back during the configuration of the channel. Right? This start Twitch connection happens around pre-start here. So I can't receive events at this point either, because it's still starting those actors, right? Those don't exist yet. I can't tell anything into it yet. But if I had the reference to the plugin Bootstrapper, direct reference to it, so that I could call the static method get features for stream event. If I had that available to me, I could call it directly from within it and pass those objects directly. That feels like a better way to go. And then I get around the whole acting, requesting object thing. And I don't need this to be an actor at all. I can yes, and then I can create this for each channel. And if I create it within the context of each channel, if I have a static set of features, right, that are loaded for the entire, then I don't need to load that every time. And I can push back when I say get features for stream event. It knows what channel it's acting within the context of. What do you think, chat room? I would be shifting the context of this, and I'm having this type of service that I'm managing. It's not an actor. No, not and then on this one. If I move it though, I get a little bit more context of exactly what I'm loading, and when I say get features for stream event, I can also, when I activate the instance, I can inspect it and say, well, does this work for this channel? And if you know what channel you're operating on, you could have per channel stream specific custom commands. Exactly, Hugo. That configuration for those. Yeah. Yeah. That does feel right. I've overactorified it. So let's move this down into services. Let's change this into a service. Yes, I know I'm moving files. That's why I moved it. Dummy. All right. So then I can, let's not make this an actor anymore. Let's make this a service. I don't need a name for it. I don't need a path for it. I do need the features. I want this to be private static read-only. I don't need that. This I would move into a static constructor so that I get it once, right? So load features, we're going to make static here. So it loads those up. Features, yeah. Oh, I'm outside of, well, it's private. I don't need to... No. Just need to get rid of read-only. Okay. So receive goes away. I don't need that. Don't need that. Go away. All right. So get features from stream event. I can make that like this. I don't need create either because it's not an actor. Okay. That also means in here, we don't do that anymore. And the plugin bootstrapper doesn't exist here. Instead, in the channel actor, I can put a copy of it here. Plugin bootstrapper, right? And I can create that appropriately for this channel there. Some streams have separate chat rooms, like a mod room, so you could have specific behavior just for the mod room versus the normal chat room. Yes. That's a very good point, Robert Tables. Yeah, Hugo agrees. Separate chat room is really just another channel from the IRC perspective. Yes. You like the darn Skippy, Carrie? You like the darn Skippy? That's from our friend Corgi Candy. Right? She took the darn Skippy idea that Carrie had and made it into a jar of peanut butter. So now, when I'm down in here, instead of doing this context actor selection, I can pass in the features appropriate for each actor. Right? The darn Skippy is very nice. Smooth or extra crunchy? Smooth. I used to be a crunchy, but right now I'm into smooth. So let's have this take in a stream event as the first argument here. So then this is going to be stream event on command. This one will be stream event on gift. Stream event on message. New subscriber. Is it just on? Yeah, on subscribe. Stream. And that currency repository stuff, that's going to go away. Because we're going to move that all together on RAID. Right? The whole currency management, that's a very complex feature that we're going to move out. This will be stream event on resubscribe. So now, I'm not just going to pass in the real arguments here. Right? Pass config, the channel configuration. Right? Chat command actor takes the channel configuration. So we need to make sure then we'll fetch the, right, features equals bootstrapper get features for stream event, and we'll pass in EVT. So now I've got the features there, so we'll pass the features there. Right, and features is an IEnumerable of type iFeature. Oh boy. I need to put that into each one of these 6 objects. This updated pattern is going to do much better long term with extensibility and all. I agree. A little more understandable to anyone else who reads it later on. Yeah, this... Right, this should be an IEnumerable. And we'll figure out what to do with that in a bit. We need to control dot on that. Take this. Okay, go back over here. Next one. Put it there. No. There. Yep. Yep. Next one. Not channel manager actor. Where'd it go? Where channel actor is what I'm looking for. That one. Here. New message actor. Get my using statements. Good. Channel actor. Next one. Put that right in there. Right, and we'll have these generic features easier to extend. And everybody will be happy. Need some using statements. Okay. Last one, resub. I see a couple messages coming up there in the chat room. I'll look in just a second. Okay. This pattern is called naming things as hard as a service. No! No. A channel is one to end for rooms, and commands can operate in the room and or the stream. Yes. No, this is the, well, we're using the overall actor architecture. Are these events that we're subscribing to? This is more like a pub sub, a publish subscription configuration. Right? Because we've got, right, we're creating these subscribers, actors, that are receiving, listening for messages, but to configure them, we're passing in a little bit of this configuration down here. Why did it indent those? Oh, that's inner. Never mind. That's right. So that should work. Now, if I go back over here, this... that should work just fine. I want to pass in, though, what the channel is. The channel or the channel's configuration? I don't know yet. I don't know what I mean. Actors and divas. Stop it!
Woo!
That's... No.
You have to ask me nicely.
You don't have to ask me nicely. You just have to be there in the chat room and be polite. You've been living in MVC, MVVM world too long. Well, those are mostly, right? Those are application architectures. This is more of a system architecture, where we're going to be spreading all this stuff out. What time do we got here? 12:30. Piece of cake. So this should build properly now. I shouldn't have any issues. Come on. Did it build that quickly? No, it's still building. 4 succeeded. Good. All right. So now it should be passing that feature over to here, and I shouldn't need to receive the features here. I've got it being passed in right there, so I should be able to say... Ah, look at that. That's better. So now I've got the features laying out there. That should be... oh, really? Fine. No. cast it to an array. That's fine. All right. And now we can run a test to make sure it all still works. Oh, Hugo, you wound me. Tests are like...
Put the candle back.
And we're going to do it again and again and again and again. 100% test success because there are no tests yet. We should write some tests. So I don't need pre-start now anymore here either. I can get rid of that. But now I'll have my collection of features. What I need to do is at some point we need to set up a way for the feature to subscribe to, hey, the event happened. What do you want to do with it? Assert true. Oh.
Right.
Yes, Carrie. Assert true. Always works. Always works. Let's do this. I think I'm at a point. I need to pass some configuration into the feature so that it knows whether to be configured or not. At the channel here, I do have the channel configuration here. I could... That's fine. I could pass that channel configuration in right here. So the features are configured from the channel configuration immediately. That's not too bad. Right? That's not how you spell channel configuration. There it is. So it's going to create the instance, which is an iFeature. iFeature has a way to receive a base feature configuration. So what if base feature configuration, we don't have too much defined for what this is yet, but maybe there's a way from channel configuration get feature, maybe there's a get feature configuration for new feature dot name feature config, and then we say new feature dot configure feature config. This way, right, we have feature configuration stored inside of our channel configuration, and we go and apply it to the feature object. So we just need to take, yes, we need to create that. Thank you. Please go create that. And this needs to return a well, we know that. Let's get rid of the channel name on that because we don't need it here. Yeah. And there was also, where is it? In the extensibility object. No. This one. Right? I can get rid of that. I don't need it. And is channel part of the iFeature? No, it's not. So let's get rid of that. Don't need it. Get rid of this. So configure. Okay. So this needs to be a base feature configuration. So I'm getting the feature configuration. That's going to be the feature name, right? just do that for right now. New scene config. Hey, Andres. Yes. So much more room for activities. Absolutely. We can stretch and run around, do all kinds of fun things. Look at that. 99% positive sentiment. Fantastic. It's amazing. Base feature configuration provider factory. Oh, brave Cobra. Oh, I see what you've done there. Yes. No. No. We're not going there. Not quite going there. What if... I also then need some way to save feature configuration. Because I'm going to give you a user interface to add that capability, right? But I feel like, what kind of configuration do we need for chat room? Let's talk through that feature over here. What does a chat room configuration look like? Well, there's a base feature configuration has is the feature enabled, and it also has, well, is it visible? Right, that's how we set up those things. Gotta go. Have a good one, aspiring DevOps guru. It's Friday. It's the happiest day of the week. I don't think we have... What's referencing is feature... Ah, that's... Okay, setting up if it's enabled. So, what if we did... So we've got is the feature enabled, and we'll check against something. Right, public bool, and I feel like I'm just kicking the configuration down the line here, right? But this is right. We're gonna store this somewhere. Not bool is visible. So is feature enabled. You have all of next week off and going to ZAM Dev Summit. Well, take care and say hello to our friends, James Montemagno, I believe a couple of the other folks, including Clancy, are going to be at the ZAM Dev Summit. David Orton is going to be there from the Live Coders team. Configuration Object Dictionary. Yes. I feel like that's what, right, the variables that we're going to have here. Yeah. Is it a private or is it a public? No, it's private. Nah, hang on. You're going to have hierarchical configurations. You're going to have all kinds of things in there. Can't wait to meet them all for the first time. Absolutely. Say hello. Let them know that we like their live coding streams. Let's see. Yagni for now is you're not going to need them. All right. See, okay. I'm struggling here. Let me save that. Don't need that right now. Is the feature enabled? And if this is a base, you're going to inherit? Yes. Is configured usable. I'm at a loss here because I want to. What I should do is after this, should do that. You can only get the feature if it's visible to you. So get feature configuration over here, the is visible. Right, so chat room feature is a base feature. Base feature has the ability to do it has this, right? Base feature knows here's the configuration and whether it's enabled. See, I don't need to pass in the name. Just is the feature enabled? In which case, why ask? Just say is enabled. Right? So if I've got a constructor, I need to figure out how to load this efficiently, but I'm going to have, right, is enabled. So, because that's coming out of configuration somewhere. And is visible. Let's start with those two. Does this, has the owner of this channel configured this feature? Does the owner of this channel have access to this? Right, just to make it clear the difference between the two. Happier sentiment. Look at that, 100%. Woohoo! Look at that.
Everything is awesome.
Yeah. So that makes sense. So now when I return base configuration, if I say, let's make this true so that everything's always visible at this point. And the only way the channel operator knows that some setup is needed. You want to make an object and create a dictionary with feature name, object, signature. That's not bad. That's not bad. So I've added those features. And I'm telling it configure it. So when I call configure, right? Base feature. So the feature is enabled. This dot is visible, right? So I'm effectively setting this up so it's loading the configuration into this view model in front of it. Is visible, right? So really, this should be our data type that we're saving to wherever. And that 100 is staying up there. Look at that. It's fantastic. It's amazing. Okay, so let's just leave it like that. I don't need any additional configuration for chat room widget. Maybe there's some things in there that'll happen around coloring, fonts, that type of thing for the chat room. But I don't need it yet. And the chat room feature just has a simple configuration to start. Okay. So the chat room feature, the chat room feature is going to need to interact with a standard SignalR endpoint so that it does receive the messages as they happen. Okay. Right, because it's not just... Right, as the feature is triggered, because a new message happened, we need to do something with it. Is it standing up its own SignalR hub and registering it? Give it a base, have it load the serialized config from where it comes from, and delegate an abstract parse configuration that each feature knows how to work with. That's not bad. So, right, the base feature has that, the base configuration. Right, parse configuration. Right, something like that. To do load JSON configuration and assign to properties. Something like that. Right, that might even be... well, that's a JSON converter and assign it to itself. That's not too bad. I'm going to leave that to do there for right now because I don't have additional features additional configuration to build in there yet, nor do I have a storage mechanism for it yet. All things that need to be built. So when a feature is created and added over here, am I listening to a SignalR hub? Oh boy. We've got a bunch of questions that we need to answer and figure out here. So how does the chat room widget... Let me take a step back here because I don't want to look at code while I'm thinking about this. How does the chat room widget know which SignalR hub to listen to? Do I stand up generic SignalR hubs for each one of the events and pass into the feature, here's the URL of the hub to listen to? Okay, we can do that. And our features over here need to be more of a Razor class library, especially if they're providing widgets, so that we can get that widget appropriately out of the library with the configured JavaScript and user interface that goes with it. I think that's a good place to stop. And let's figure this out next time. Wow, lots of files changed here. Yeah, look at all that stuff moved around. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, let's clean up here. You can't see what I'm doing. Let's clean up here. And get ready to do a little bit of a raid. So, we're going to commit. Yeah, we are. Absolutely. We simplified and standardized the plugin bootstrapper. I think that... I don't think I typed that right. There it goes. Cool. All right. I'm feeling pretty good about where that is. We've got some interesting problems to solve, and I think the easiest way to take our next steps are going to be to take this chat room feature here and actually turn that into a Razor class library, a Razor component that will be instantiated, loaded and instantiated and discovered by our web application up here. I'm going to spend a little bit of time doing some research on that, get that nailed down so that we know exactly how to instantiate it and build it going forward. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us. I really appreciate it. This video, like all my other videos, will be over on YouTube at youtube.com/C#Fritz. In the next few days, I'm going to archive and push a bunch of videos out there all at once here today. There's a lot of great stuff that we need to send out there that I think folks will be happy to see that archive build out with some other great stuff. You know what we're gonna do today? We're gonna set up. Let's put together our raid call. There it is. All right. If you're a subscriber, grab that first line of text out of chat there. If you're not a subscriber, that's okay. Grab the second line of text, copy it onto your clipboard. We're gonna raid Ed Charbonneau today. We haven't raided Ed in a while. And I always hit this part of it. There we go. We're setting up for that raid. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining me. Ed is working on a little bit of Blazor work today. He's working with Blazor and Entity Framework Core. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great weekend. I'll see you back on Sunday. Until then, have some fun with Ed. Make sure you have that raid text copied out there. Check out my new closing screen here in just a second, and then I'll send you over on the raid. All right? Take care, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me. We'll see you soon.